The Mint had already been occupied by the robbers for 26 hours. The staff had printed a total of 200 million euros for them, but this was far from enough. According to the plan, they intended to take 2.4 billion unmarked euros. They also held 67 hostages and were confronting the police, meaning the longer they delayed, the more money would be printed. To stabilize the hostages' emotions, the robbers brought them up to the rooftop for some air. When everyone appeared, the special forces were completely stunned because the hostages and robbers were dressed almost identically, and each person held a weapon, making it impossible to distinguish between them. Unexpectedly, one hostage spotted the special forces across the way and thought it was a perfect escape opportunity. He pointed a fake gun at the robbers. To teach him a lesson, the two robbers immediately knelt on the ground, cornering the hostage. The police, unaware of the situation, thought the robbers were about to execute the hostage. Upon a command, the hostage was forced to the ground. But the instant the mask fell, it became clear that this was a trap. Trouble had arrived. The robbers immediately released the news to the media, causing an uproar. Fortunately, it was not a fatal injury. Nairobi immediately contacted the professor, intending to send medical staff in to save the hostage without causing a death, and the professor promptly agreed. Of course, he had another goal. The police would definitely attempt small maneuvers during the rescue, so he decided to turn the tables and seize control. As expected, the medical staff who entered included one of Nairobi's deputies because the professor had seen him on surveillance. The professor was delighted and quickly informed his team. Subsequently, Berlin instructed the doctor to hand over all personal belongings and to lie on the ground for inspection. The robbers then began drilling into the deputy's eyes, implanted a miniature listening device, and restored his glasses to their original state. After all this was done, they returned the glasses to the deputy. When they finished treating the injured hostage and turned around, everyone was startled. The deputy knew trouble was imminent because the police had already sent 2 disguised officers into the ducts. However, the officers had clearly seen through their plan, and all changed into a different type of mask. This meant that if the special forces entered, they would almost certainly die. After exiting, the deputy hurried back to the command center to halt the operation in time. In the second round of the standoff, the professor once again gained the upper hand. Using the miniature listening device in the deputy's glasses, he could monitor the police's actions in detail, giving them more time to print money. What he did not expect, however, was that his own team openly violated the first rule he had established. No hostages were to die under their watch. Tokyo, because Berlin had beaten her boyfriend, used a weapon to force Berlin to tell the professor about the incident. The professor trembled with anger. He had been orchestrating a grand plan, and what Berlin did today risked undoing 20 years of his efforts. There was no way he could tolerate it, and this laid the foundation for him to scheme against Berlin in the future. Meanwhile, the police also made a major breakthrough. In the surveillance footage from the Mint a few days earlier, they spotted Tokyo scouting the site and saw the car keys she had left on a tray. They quickly tracked down her vehicle. Hearing this, the professor froze. He immediately called Helsinki, who was supposed to destroy the car, only to find out that Helsinki hadn't removed the fingerprints. The professor rushed to the scrapyard, but before finding the car, the foreman spotted him with a hammer. In a panic, he hid inside the vehicle. The foreman did not expose him, and as the footsteps faded away, he heaved a heavy sigh. However, in the next moment,